Hi, good morning, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
It's good to see you all. Oh, I've got the wrong camera on my angle this time. That's okay. I'm just going to leave it. Welcome, Johanna, Melinda, Janet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I hope
Hi,
everybody's doing well.
everybody.
Yeah,
Good to
good
see
to
you guys. I see a lot of familiar faces. Good to see everybody.
yeah. And you've been a busy girl this week, Susan Lynn.
I have
I
been
see.
busy. You might notice that my background has changed a little bit.
Oh, I like it. Looks very nice. Is that a lit uh, light or is that a crystal ball?
It's a salt lamp that
Oh, okay.
the rheostat to turn it down is broken. So it's like, it's either all or
Oh,
nothing.
it's beautiful. It looks
Well, thank
good.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's nice to change up the background every once in a while, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
That's
love yours too. I love all the lights and
oh, thanks. I love this corner of my bedroom, and I was having so much trouble with lighting way out in the other room, so I just decided this was a better spot. Yeah.
it's
So
perfect.
good. So what's going on with you this past week? I see you met with let's see, Medium Kim.
Yes, I did. And you had her on your channel as well. Isn't she wonderful?
She is wonderful, absolutely. And what else did you do? Um, did you work with a pet psychic? I think, or was
Oh
that
yeah,
last week?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was
Yeah. Yeah.
on with Donna Norris, who's a pet psychic, and
Good.
right. And other than that, I've been so busy with readings. I am so grateful to
Oh,
everyone.
that is good.
That has been keeping me really busy. Um, so yes, things have been just cooking right along here.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. It's always nice. Hi, Renee. How are you? Hi, Marge. It's good to see you, everybody here. So, hi, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
Um,
Yep.
so I do want to mention a couple things this morning, and usually you guys get it all right, but the ones that come in later haven't heard it. But I do want to mention that we usually do the first half hour only with the other side if you wish to speak to spirit there. But the other thing is, if you would please allow for other people to have questions. So limit each time to one question, if you would. That would be great. Unless we have extra time at the end with nobody wanting anything, then maybe we can take other questions as well then. Is that right, Susan? Is that what
Yeah,
works for
perfect.
you? Okay,
Perfect.
very
Yeah.
good. Very
And thank you
good.
for having me on your channel too. I really appreciate it. I
Oh, I
really enjoy
appreciate.
these lives. So thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I think that they're really good. And although we may not be doing them week to week now, we may only do them every other week, depending on Susan's schedule. Please don't give up on us if you don't see us in one week. We'll be back.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good. All right. So Elaine has a question for us this morning. Does her dog Bella, who has passed away, have a message for her?
Yes. Let me connect with Bella really quickly here. Bella is telling you, and I think this might not make exact sense for her personality, but this is her message for you, not necessarily what she, her may not resonate with her exactly, but she wants you to make more time for playtime. Stop taking things so seriously. She says that you tend to worry or overanalyze or overthink. And she says that, getting out of your head can help you see the picture better. You tend to keep everything in and in your head, right? Instead of verbalizing it or talking it out to friends. And she also says, go on walks. Go on walks
Uh-huh.
by yourself. So hopefully that makes sense for you, Elaine, with Bella. You can let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
for the
awesome.
question.
Yeah, they like to be outside with you. I think that probably helps too. Excellent. All right. So we have Marge asking, could her mother-in-law give us any information on what's going on health-wise with her second to oldest son? So I'm
So I'm
guessing
gonna
what's her name? That would help Susan.
Yeah, and I guess what you're saying is your mother-in-law is on the other side, right? So, and you're asking her on the other side to give you information on her son, her second oldest son, health-wise. I think it's going to be better for me to tap directly into his energy rather than call up somebody and tap into her inner. I think. Let me see. Oh, you're welcome, Elaine. I hope that was helpful for you. Boy, I feel like the doctors are stumped, or else, you know, the doctors have this term called idiopathic, which I had a friend who was a pathologist, and I would always ask her, it was always this idiopathic or that idiopathic. Finally, I said, how come you use idiopathic in all these different scenarios? And she said, it basically means we don't know. So I'm hearing that idiopathic thing, right? I'm feeling like they're happy to run a lot of tests on him. I feel like, but when I go into his energy, I feel like it's circulatory. I feel like it's high blood pressure. I feel like it has something to do. I know it's not presenting as that, but that's when I go into his energy. That's all I can find. But I'm wondering if his high blood pressure is causing some other weird symptom, you know, that's not necessarily associated with that. That's all I'm getting is this heart, circulatory, high blood pressure, that kind of feeling. I also feel bloated. I do feel yucky when I'm in his energy. I feel yucky, but I think it's blood. It may be something to do, you know, with his blood. That's all I can get. I'm so sorry. I hope that helps in some way. I know that's frustrating when the medicine can't help you get well. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, it is. And that it reminds me a lot of somebody thinking they had this problem or even told they had this problem, but then there's one underlying it.
Yes.
Excuse me, that you can't even see. Yeah.
Right. And that's what I feel like. It's not directly connected, but it is connected. And that's where they're having the problem, right? They can't make the connection between the two. So they're just stumped, in other words.
Scratching their heads.
Yeah, scratching their heads and ordering more tests.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Your brother's been told he has 2 days to live.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That is terrible. I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry for you. I know it's so hard on us. As hard as it is on your brother, it's hard on us as well. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to help. We don't know what to say. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, this is a sensitive subject, right? But I don't think, it's weird. When I go into his energy, I don't feel like he presents as being imminently ready to pass over. I don't feel like that in his energy. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying when I go into his energy, I feel like there's a lot of life energy left. And what I would like to see for him is a gentle, right? A very gentle crossing, and one of peace and joy in reaching the other side, and knowing that he has people on the other side that are coming to get him. I feel like there's a male. I feel like it's a male, somebody that he really likes. It might be a friend that's crossed over. It might be an uncle. There's a male energy that's meeting him. He's surrounded by love and light and angels. I can tell you that. He's surrounded. He's being lifted up. He's being supported. So I don't see it imminent, but I do see him crossing over. I do see him being happy and surprised with who he meets. And he is protected. He is surrounded by love and light. That's what I see for him. but I'm so sorry. It's just very hard.
Including from us. Yeah, I want us all to be
Yeah.
and send you love energy, Michelle.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
difficult time for you and your family, and so we
Yes.
send that to you.
Yes.
Renee, thanks for the thumbs up advice. Thank you. Oh, Michelle says it's her dad that's going to meet him. Okay.
Okay. I was wondering about that. It's
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm so sorry, Michelle. It's a very hard time.
It is. Yep. Okay. Sin. Hi, Sin. Good to see you too. Her best friend forever, Vonnie, passed over 15 years ago. Is she around at all? She's missed very much. Does she have a message?
Yes. If I'm connected to the right person, I'll take this time to tell you guys that there's a lot of people in chat, which means there's a lot of energies on the other side, and they'll jump in. They'll piggyback. They'll take an opportunity to send a message. So if I don't connect it right, it means I'm reading somebody else. And if it's for you, take that message. But so Vonnie, I feel like Vonnie is here. I don't know if you remember this or if this is an event that you shared with her or something, but I'm feeling like I'm really nauseous in my stomach. I don't know why she's doing that. I feel like I want to vomit. I feel like I'm really nauseous. I don't know if she's also kind of funny. So I'm not sure if this was an event that you guys shared together or if this was close to her passing that she was just very nauseous. But she does seem like she was a very, you guys were just bonded like sisters. She's telling me you guys were bonded like sisters. You could tell each other anything and you could share with each other things that you couldn't even share with your own family or your own sisters. Or, she's just making it sound like better than sisters, right? It was closer than sisters. I know that she left a big hole in your world, in your heart, in your life. And, but she does send her love. She does have a sense of humor. So she is being funny. She is with you all the time. She tends to laugh, like if you trip or something, like she just thinks that's funny. I don't know if you're clumsy, but if you do something, I think you guys would laugh at each other. You would just double over laughing.
Oh, that's funny.
I hope that helps.
That's always fun to remember those days when you were young. And yeah. Okay, remember everybody that one question each this time. I'm just reminding those who just came in. This one's from Dawn. Does her father-in-law have any message? Do you have a name for Susan? His name?
Yeah, names help me. Like I said earlier, when a lot of people are around, there's a lot of father-in-laws right now in the chat, so it helps me be able to really know if I'm talking to. Is his name Dawn? I feel like there's a D-O-N here somewhere. Okay, so Dawn, D-A-W-N, Dawn. Does your father-in-law have any messages? Oh, his name is Lloyd? Okay, thank you. Lloyd, thank you for that. That helps. Just quickly, he's talking about, well, first of all, he's the kind of guy that he's not like super emotional. Like when I got a hold of him, it's not like he's saying, oh my God, I'm so glad to see you, Dawn. I love you. And tell my son. That's not him. He goes immediately to like a vehicle or a purchase you guys are making. It's a purchase or a vehicle. It feels like you guys are considering something. It feels like you're buying something a little bit more than you, like an extra thing, like a boat or a vehicle or something, or I'm hearing diesel. I don't know. He has a lot to say about practical things, right? But he is with you. He watches his son. He watches over his family. He has a little bit of an opinion You know what I mean? Like he can have an opinion about things when he was around, when he was here. He would tell you what he thought about the car you just bought. He would tell you things about it. You know what I mean? You know, it has a good crash test rating, you know, whatever. He would just tell you about it. So hopefully that makes sense. He's talking about his son or you guys getting something. It could be a cabin, something extra, a four-wheeler. I don't know. You guys are looking at buying. Let me know if that makes any sense.
That is so funny. And actually, it segues into a question I wanted to ask that has to do with, so they're watching us over there, which is really cool because we can't keep any secrets from them at this point. But do they, you know, like I often wonder when we're on the toilet or in other compromising situations, where are they there? Are they watching us?
Well, you know, that's really funny. I have two things to say about that. First of all, one of the readings I did a couple of weeks ago, the dad was apologizing because he had crossed over not too long ago, and he didn't realize that when he's over there, and when he thinks of his daughter, if he just thinks about her, he ends up in her living room.
Oh,
like that. And he was like all of a sudden in her living room, and and things were going on he didn't want to see, and he was embarrassed. He was mortified. He was like, I didn't mean to go there. I didn't mean to go there. I didn't know. You just think, and then you're there, and then I was there, and then I couldn't think about where to think to go because I didn't know where I came from. And it was this whole thing. He was like, how embarrassing. Well, you know what? He could have never said a word, and it wouldn't have been embarrassing because none of us would have known he was there. But instead, now his daughter's mortified. So I thought that was hilarious because I didn't know all they had to do was just think the thought and they would be there, right? So, and then secondarily, yes, being a medium, I have picked up on people. Like I have a very dear friend, male friend, who crossed over about a year ago, and he was the kind of almost harmless flirt, and he appeared in my bathroom when I was taking a shower, and I was like, you know, that's not gonna fly. That don't, you know. But he would do that. That would be the perfect thing for him to do because he would like to mess with you too, right? So yeah. So yes, those two things should give you an indication that they can't. Usually they don't.
Right.
Usually
but we shouldn't, I mean, we're just really, to them, we're just a spirit in a way because they're just a spirit. So they're looking more into our souls than our personal hygiene habits. But that's funny. I don't think that woman will ever have relations in her living room again.
No, I don't think she will either. And I don't know. She, God bless her. Anyway.
All right. Laurel wants to know if her cousin, oh, I'm sorry. I missed Patty first. Patty was before it. Any messages from her guides?
Messages from your guides.
And welcome, by the way.
Yeah. Well, first of all, they're telling me I got a couple of different things. First of all, they're saying, and you know, look, guys, let me a message in the comments if it doesn't make sense because I want to make sure I'm connecting to your energy and not somebody else's energy. But what they're showing me, Patty, is that you find solace in being outdoors. You don't particularly like, you know, I'm not saying you like to be outside when it's blazing hot or really cold, but I'm saying that you do. I feel like it makes you feel good to be outdoors, you're very visual. You like to see pretty things, and you know, you like manicured gardens, you like flowers, you like things like that. And I guess their message to you is take time to do that, because the first message was overthinking, worrying. So they're saying let it go, and then let yourself be in a visually, you know, good, beautiful place. Let your heart just relax, and you'll get the answers you're looking for. Everything will make sense, but it isn't going to make sense as long as you stay in your thinking mind and in your house or whatever. You need to go somewhere else. Hopefully that helps, Patty.
That's great.
Cousin Leah is here's another person that I feel like you guys were close. I feel like you guys got into a little bit of trouble. Not like bad trouble, but I think you had some fun times together. Or even if it was just like dinner, or like, I don't know, I see you at a restaurant. For some reason I'm seeing Applebee's. This of course would be probably years ago. But a message for you, laugh more. She's talking something about your significant other, Laurel. I don't know if you're having issues, but she says don't put up with anything. It's a man. I don't know if it's a significant other or a boss or a coworker, but it's a male energy. And she's saying, you're better than that. Don't put up with it. That's her message for you. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Mischief.
I just love that the other side is so concerned about our self-care and about our taking time for things that we need to do and to take care of ourselves. Those messages are so important. And when we hear them from those from the other side, I think it's even a little bit more loving. It's a loving message. Yeah.
It is. And because, think about it, their time here is over. Do you know what I mean? And so I think their advice is really important. If they say, take more time to smell the roses, or take a walk outside, or do something nice for yourself, they really know what they're talking about. They, that's advice from people that really know. The name of your guardian angel, Miss B. You have, okay, so Miss B, you have a couple of different guardian angels, you realize, and you have some that come in temporarily, or the word is not temporarily. The word is, it appears that they are, I can't describe it, but these angels come in for certain parts of your life. Okay. So if you're going through something, a lot of times you'll ask for help. They'll assign specific angels for that part of your life. Okay. That's what I need to tell you, because you've got more right now. You've got quite a few around you. And then they tell me the name phonetically, and then they try to spell it for me. Aley, maybe Allerie, Allerie. Aley is this angel that's coming through for you right now. This particular guardian angel has more feminine energy, but it's got masculine. It's a mixture, but it's probably a little bit more feminine. Aley, that's who you have right now. You can call Aley and ask her for guidance. She's guiding you. You're going through something, or you're about to go through something. She's going to guide you, Aley.
That's awesome. Hi, Kathy S. She says she's very much like her grandma, personality-wise. Is there any special significance to being like a relative?
Special significance. That's a big word. I mean, because there's lots of significances. Some of it is just genetics, right? Being passed down through our different generations. But I think it's interesting that you asked that question, because when I go into your energy, I feel like what's happening is that you look at your grandmother's life. I don't know if you know her life very well. Sometimes our grandparents passed before we're even here. But look at her life and see if you can find out if she went through some similar situations, trials, travails, that you can glean information from. So I feel like you got, the significance is that I feel like you've had some things that are similar, some lessons. You guys are repeating kind of similar lessons. Wow. Or you can take the answers from your lessons. It's the same answer, even though the lesson was different. So self-confidence can come in many different lessons, right? But the answer is the same. So that's what I would say. Thank you for the question.
Awesome. All right. It's Melinda's wanting to know if Bubba has any words for his children and their schoolwork.
Well, Bubba is saying study more and focus and stop being distracted. That's one thing he's saying. Distractions. There's distractions, but they're wanted to, you know how when you want to be distracted, you find a reason to get up from the schoolwork. I feel like one of the children is tries really hard and focuses, and maybe like me, like I would have to work really hard for my grade, and then somebody else would just show up and take the test, right? I mean, I feel like one of the children I feel like I see them focused on working, but I feel like it's a little bit harder for them. I feel like there's some attention issues with the other child. And hopefully that makes sense. And what I would think I would also say, Melinda, is he's saying two things. I don't know if they've been tested for ADHD or anything like that. That would be one thing. And number two would be teaching modalities. He's saying that, or dyslexia, I feel like as well. And he's saying that they may need that it's okay. He's saying it's okay to search for different teaching modalities. You know what I mean? Like to get that kind of help with classwork that might be not in your normal classroom.
Yeah.
Stephen, so sorry you lost your brother at such a young age. That's really, really hard. I'm so sorry about that. Yes, okay. I was just going to say, are you a girl? Because when I connected with Stephen, he's talking about his sister, and I'm like, wait, what? Okay, yes. Yes. Stephen, I feel like Stephen is pretty involved in your life. I feel like he is very close to you for some reason. I don't know if you guys if you felt like you shared a bond when he was here. But if you didn't, you're sharing one now. He's very close to you. He watches over you. He's very involved in your life. He feels older. I don't know if he's older, but he feels older. He loves you. He's with you all the time. No, he just called you big sister, but his energy feels big. He feels protective.
Oh, that's nice. It's nice to have that person over on there for that energy that's covering and caring for you. Wow.
Absolutely.
Hold on. I got to get to where I'm supposed to be. All right. I have to tell you that we're going to be stopping doing some other side, and we'll be just taking generic this side messages pretty soon here. So oops. Okay. Sorry. The Zoom thing went flat. All right. Here we go. Nancy Angel Wolf. Any messages from her late husband, John Goody, passed many years ago?
Oh, years ago. John. Let me see if I can call him up. Interesting. Nancy, I think that you, let me know in the comments, but I think that you have had experiences with John. Has he not come to you in a dream? I feel like he's really, this man, he wanted to come through. This might have been years ago, but it was like very purposeful that he needed to come through to you in some way. So I feel like he did that. I feel like he came through to you. I hope you remember it and that you experienced it. But he loves you. He sends his love to you. He sees how everything has changed. He's happy with everything. I feel like there have been some trials. I feel like he's saying there might have been a loss in your family or something. He's just saying that you went through some things, but he is with you. Yes, but I need help now. You need help now, Nancy, with him. You need him to come through with a message for you now. You're saying, Nancy. I would, if I were you, what he's telling me is get a pad and a paper. I don't know if you've ever done automatic writing, but if you just write him a letter, he's telling me that he thinks this is the best way to do it. Write him a letter and ask him what you need him, ask for the help, and then write that and then put it under your pillow and go to sleep, and he will talk to you in a dream. Apparently that's how he likes to come through. I've never said this to anybody before. This is what he's saying to me. If you do wake up in the middle of the night, when spirit comes to us is when we're in that either falling asleep or waking up. That's when we know. They come to us all night, but we're not aware. But when we're waking up, we can get those messages. And if you start to wake up and you're getting a message, that's when you start writing everything down. You will not remember. If you just say, oh, that's so vivid, I'll remember that message. You're not likely to remember it, so write it down. Absolutely. Hopefully that makes sense, Nancy. Yeah. He did. Okay, great. He comes to you in his dreams, but ask to remember your dreams. Ask, and if you get woken up in the middle of the night, you've gotta write it down, even if it's 3 a.m. Your husband, Joybird, your husband, Bill, on the other side is fine. Bill is busy. He's busy as I look at him. He's doing something. His head is down. He's working on something. And his head is down and he looks up at me like, what? So he's busy on the other side, doing something. He's attentive to something. But he's funny. I like the way he looks up. It's kind of annoyed, but happy to see you all at the same time. So yeah, he's doing fine. He's busy. He's fine. He's happy. He's working. He's working on something. I don't know what he's working on, but the man is serious about it. But I would like to get a break when I go over there. But apparently, he feels like he it's more time to work or something. So he's fine. He does check in on you on occasion. Instead of all the time, he says, I check in about once a week. So there you have it. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Thank you for that question. Hi, Marilyn. I'm glad you caught a live too. Yeah. Is Monty available for a chat with me? Is Monty... I can call Monty, but I hope it's a person and not a cat, because I feel like you have a cat that's coming through. And if Monty is a cat, then yes, Monty's coming through. Is Monty available for a chat? Monty, do you have anything to say? Monty. Okay, I started to connect with Monty. That's funny. I think he wants to. He's interesting. I can't tell if he wants to talk a lot or not. I think if it were you, he would talk quite a bit. But he's kind of confused about who do I talk to? Do I talk to you or do I talk to her? He's got confused. So Monty says everything is okay. I don't know if you thought he would be worried about where he was going or if he had, concerns about that. But he says everything is okay. I'm fine. Everything is good here. He says something like love you, bye.
That's funny.
Oh my God. He was your best friend. Look at Joybird said Bill was a workaholic. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
He even schedules when he goes to see you, Joybird. He's like, well, she's I got her scheduled for Mondays. I go see her on Monday. It's funny. I love it.
Oh, people are funny. Their personalities sound like they stay the same over there than they were here. Yeah.
They do, because otherwise we wouldn't recognize
We wouldn't
them.
recognize them. That's right. You're right.
If I go to your higher self, your higher soul part, that would not be recognizable to you.
Right. Understood.
Wilhelm.
Oh, how are you, Angela? It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Angela. Yes. Now, your father, I feel like, again, let me know if this doesn't make sense, because there's a lot of energies and I'm trying to focus on your father. But like I said, people can sneak in. I feel like your father was, what is the word he's using? Gosh, it means, well, stout, but he's using this word, whatever this physicality. He was physical. He was, a little bit, he liked to think of himself as manly. Whether he was or not doesn't matter. That, he felt like he was stout, or not fat, but physical. Okay. Anyway, and I feel like he has a big smile. I feel like he makes me want to smile. I feel like he was a little bit touchy-feely, like he would put his arm around you or pat someone on the back. He loves you very much. He says you already know this. You're his pride and joy. He loves you. And he's also happy that you asked for him here on TV. So he was physical. Okay, great. Yeah. I mean, not that he wasn't like a muscle man, but he liked to be physical. He liked, that was part of his personality, So Tegan, my Chessie, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's really hard to lose our babies. It is so hard. This cat is still the queen. Yeah, this cat is still the queen. I don't know who else you have in your house right now, but it doesn't matter, because this cat is still the queen of the house. And she walks around your house like she owns it. And let me tell you what, she notices things. She wants to say, she casts her eyes askance. She just looks out of the corner of her eye like, and just says, if there's a new cat, or a new cat bed, or if there's something that she doesn't approve of in the house, she would just go, and just be like, duly noted, So yeah, she's fine. She's still patrolling your house, and she is still the queen. All hail to the queen.
All right. That's cool. All right. So I'm about to post another one here, but at this point, we are going to ask Susan any questions you'd like from anything over on this side, because it's very exhausting. And of course, we've had 43 people on, so she got bombarded with a lot of people trying to come over. And I don't want to disappoint anybody, but we got to be fair to Susan. So this one is actually more to do with guidance on how to let an emotion go that Amber has. She just would like to know.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand your question a little bit. I'm so sorry that your mother crossed over, when it's sudden like that. It's just, there's no preparation, right? I mean, you're just thrown into this terrible event and all the grief and all the other things that happened at that same time. And I understand your brother is having a terrible reaction to that. I'm so sorry. But your question would be, any guidance for me on how to let the emotions go around that? Let the emotions go for you around your mother's crossing, or your brother's emotions around your mother's crossing? I'm not sure which one you're asking about. But let me talk about your mother really quickly. Or let me talk about, okay, I don't know. This is probably coming from her. But I also feel like it's coming from your spirit guides. I don't know. What I feel that your mother was buried. If that's not the case, let me know. But I feel like there's a grave and a gravestone, or else there's some other thing that you're using to commemorate or, formalize her passing. Some people plant a tree. Some people, I have friends that put a big rock, in their property. Whatever that is, they're saying that it really does help. This is what they're telling me. It'll really help you to go and talk to that wherever you think she is. I know we can talk to them. I'm talking to them right now. I know that, but for some of us, we need a physical place. That's why we have cemeteries. So they're telling me that you and or your brother, maybe you guys together, should go to the cemetery or go wherever it is that you represents her, and talk to her. It's for us. You know what I mean? It's for us. So that's what they're telling me of how to deal with that. Hopefully that makes sense, Amber. But also, she was cremated. Okay, she was cremated, and your brother picked up and left the state. So my question, Amber, is this for you to know how to deal with this whole thing? Then I'm going to tell you to talk to her, to just talk to her like she's still here. Like, I have a friend that has coffee every morning and talks to all the people that she has on the other side every morning. That's what she does. And the more you talk to her, the more you're going to, start to get messages back. And you may not, it's hard to believe them, but it really does happen. Hopefully that makes sense.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Watcher 9997. Do you have any messages for her?
I feel like you're going to have a really good summer. They're saying you can have, you can't, operative word, you can have a really good summer, but you have to plan it, right? You have to be intentional about taking time off or planning for something good for yourself. Now, they want to make a point that what's good for us is not always to do for others. Okay, so when I say, or when they say do for yourself, they're not saying plan a big family event where you do all the cooking. They're saying do something for yourself. Be intentional. Take a little time for yourself. Hopefully that makes sense to you.
Awesome. All right. Starfish is wondering about her root chakra, whether it's balanced and well. Have you been outside, Starfish, walking on the earth?
Yeah, because Starfish, I feel like your crown chakra is where a lot of your energy is. But I also feel like your solar plexus chakra. So yes, I think Aley's right. I think for you, Starfish, you have to be more intentional about grounding. It doesn't just happen. Even if you're just walking outside, it doesn't really just happen. You personally have to be more intentional about it.
Yep.
So, and Amber, I'm so sorry that he left you to deal with all the legal things of the estate. I'm going to say something that's really broad, but I've had a lot of experience with this personally. My brothers did the same thing. I mean, we did all the work, and we don't often help boys and young men understand grief or emotions. And so when they experience grief and emotions, that's not something they know how to deal with. And so they flee. So that's what your brother has done. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're having to put up with that. But that is a common thing that I see, unfortunately.
Okay. So I'm going to just say Linda Brunetto, she wanted to know if anyone on the other side wants to talk, but how about you just let her know who she's seeing in her room?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was like, okay.
That's cool. You can see them.
And listen, she says all the different people I'm seeing in my room. So you have a lot of people in your room. Okay, Linda. So if you have a lot of people in your room, we need to talk about boundaries. No, I mean that is funny, but I had to learn You know who I learned boundaries from? Not from my relationships, not from my work life, from dead people. Dead people have no boundaries. If you just tuned in, you missed the whole story about the dad. First time in heaven, whatever, he thinks about his daughter and he ends up in the living room of his daughter's house when she's there with her husband and they're having relations, and he was mortified. So you have to have boundaries, because these people, family members, are not bad. To be honest with you, my family, for the most part, they don't bother me so much. But if you're seeing a lot of people in your house, it's probably ghosts. And ghosts have no boundaries. No boundaries. They will get up in your face. They will. You have mediumship abilities. If you're seeing people and they're not alive, you have mediumship abilities. So that is what it is. So now what you need to do is push them out, and say, look, you guys have to get out of my house, basically. Really? I had somebody in my house this morning, and I just don't have the patience for it anymore. I just was like, get out.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I have to show you. This is fabulous, T-Barb. Your neighbor got COVID. You asked for prayer on Z Queen. They did a healing guided meditation, and he's mowing the yard now. Oh my God!
Wow, that's some energy, you guys. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
wow,
wonderful. Right. Congratulations, T-Bar.
That is.
Wow.
I know. Look at how powerful you all are. That's so wonderful.
Yeah, it's true. When you get a group of people together, you're even more powerful. Linda, back with the people and the animals that are coming to you. Honey, they're coming to you because you can see them, and they know you can see them, so they want to talk to you. They know you can see them, and that's unusual. So they're like, go to her. She can talk to us. So that's why they're coming to you.
All right. Let's see. I think a lot of these are just validations of things that you had said. Ellen, I'm sorry, we're not doing other side right now. If you need, there's a Tawana, we're going to, about spirit guides, but if you would like, I could have I could have Susan look at your spirit guides, but let her talk to Tawana first.
Yeah, so we do messages from the other side for the first 30 minutes.
Right.
But I know it goes super fast. Let's see, Tawana. Gosh, please let me know if I'm saying your name wrong. I can't decide if it's Twaina.
Oh, yeah.
Twaina. I don't know. Anyway, message from your spirit guides. Girlfriend. They Are you going back to school, or are you getting training? Or are you thinking about you're thinking about doing something? I think you're thinking about doing something. Yeah, the answer is yes. They want you to do it. There's something going on. Or maybe your child, somebody's going back to school in the fall. Yes. Okay, good. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. They're all about it. You're going to kill it. You're going to be, I don't know. I feel like you might have, like we all do, doubts about going back to school. And like, are you going to be able to like mentally like focus? Girl, you're going to kill it. Like I see you like this, like with a book in your face. Like you're just like focused. You're focused. And you're like, the house could be burning down. And you're like this. You know, so you got it. You got this.
That's awesome. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Now, Melinda did ask a question, but this is more for everybody. So I believe that it's okay. Metaphysical question. Any advice for guides on healing? Melinda's seeing things that happen and feel things, but she's not sure she's doing which direction she should go into. And I guess it's to tell those people? Is that what I'm getting, Melinda? Or should we be telling those people? Because I know you can't block it, but it's also there. their free will not to know what you're seeing. Correct, Susan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they'll won't let you see some things if you're supposed to learn the lesson, but
Right.
they will give you tips or hints. So I think one thing we need to say is you see things that happen and you feel things. So you're empathic, your intuition. It sounds like you have clair sentience.
Healing others, she says. Okay.
Healing others. Oh, you know what? I think what the energy that I'm getting is, I honestly think that you're talking about people in your family or people you know. I feel like this is a personal thing. Like you want to help someone. It feels very personal. Let me know if that's not the case. But if you're trying to heal someone that you know, it's harder because if they don't, they have to be willing to be healed. Mm-hmm. People have to be willing to be healed. So if even if they are not really consciously aware of it, if they're getting secondary gain from being, injured because they're getting more attention, they might not be aware of all this, right? But that's the thing, because when you try to heal people, and you're helping them, but they're not getting better, then that's not on you. You have to let it go. Right. I mean, you could talk to T-Barb. Look what her group did. Do you see that comment that T-Barb put?
That's wonderful.
So healing is amazing. And when you get with groups, you can really have a big, huge impact. I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry. Hey, Renee, how are you? Does a physical DNA we get impact our spiritual genetics, past life experiences? I think that's a great question. Because I think that is true. In my experience, I can tell someone that they got, if they're psychic or they're a medium or whatever it is, I can tell you what lineage you got. Did you get it from your mother's side? Did you get it from your father's side? I can track that. So I do feel like it is in the DNA. I do feel like it is passed down. I really do, because I've tracked it over a lot of my clients. I've been able to say, well, you know what, your mother, your mother, sometimes it skips a generation because what happens if you have a parent that is, let's say, a hippie, then that kid is going to come out square because they don't want to be anything like their parents. So if you have a parent that's very metaphysical, a lot of times the kid will come out against that, but then the grandkid will be like the grandmother. So it'll skip a generation. But yeah, I do think it does track.
I agree with that, because I've seen it go where someone has been a strict parent, or they've had a strict parent, and then they've really let their kid just do anything they want. And that kid tends to want to be a strict parent. I've seen it over and over again.
Yes.
Isn't it crazy? Wow.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy.
But we do pick what we want. I mean, we pick everything before we come. We pick eye color. We pick, all those things. So why wouldn't we pick the parent that might bring us the very thing that would help us with our spiritual growth? Wow.
That's right. Yeah. And the thing is to not overreact, right? So if you have a strict parent, the thing is not to become, lenient. It is to put it, bring it back more into the center. Same thing with metaphysical, But I am noticing recently a lot of people have parents that were metaphysical, and they're choosing to accept it instead of go against it. So I think that's great.
Yeah. Well, and doesn't that also come in when the whole group of people that came in as the star children or whatever, the star seeds, and so a lot of them have done it. I have to mention that I'm reading right now and trying to assimilate one of the Seth books on mass events and the nature of man, and it's so fascinating, but it's a very validating book about how we pick the moment we're born, the moment we die, how we pick and choose that we want to go out in a mass event, sort of as a subject for that particular thing to elevate the planet. And just all of this information is so validating and just goes along with everything else that I've ever read. And this material was put out in the 70s and was channeled through an entity at the time. And I'm sure if we looked at that book in the 70s, we would have gone, sure, right, you know. But I think it's something that's worth mentioning, just so that I'd like to talk about this at some point as well. And some of the ideas that came through, because in essence, he's saying if we go out with it brings up epidemics, brings up natural disasters, brings up wars and other things, but also the fact that we have that ability to go in and make changes. He calls them different frameworks that we can go into. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know if that resonates at all with you, Susan, but it just really hit me, and I thought it was interesting information.
It's very interesting. And you're talking about Seth, S-E-T-H, just in case
Yes.
you guys are not familiar with it, S-E-T-H. And absolutely. You know what came to me while you were talking is maybe you could start a book club on your channel.
I have wanted to in the beginning, and I did start one out and nobody came. So
well, now the timing was off.
Different. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, now the timing is right, because I think that if everybody, you know, whatever book you wanted to feature, you would be great at leading the dialogue and helping people. I mean, that's what we need. We're all seeking a community right now.
We are.
And what a beautiful way to have a community, but to dive into some of these works and talk about it.
Absolutely. And Kaya, yes, it is mass event like COVID. This is something that we have, he said that biologically, we can create events from thoughts and actions and things that are going on out in the world. And oh, good, Lise. Okay, if you want a book club, we'll do a book club. I would love it. And I guess the best way to do a book club would be to do it on a Zoom meeting where I could invite you all. We could all talk, and then we could post it later on. So let's think about it. That would be wonderful. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for that idea. That's great. But yep.
Came from up above. Look at that. You got 3 or 4 people already. That's awesome. And you know what's interesting about that mass event thing? When COVID first broke out, I was already aware of it spiritually in February. And then in March, they told me that this is just what they told me. So I don't know. But they told me that a certain number of people was preordained. You know what I mean? So they chose to come here and pass of this pandemic. And then they said, once you hit that number of preordained people and you don't do anything, right? You have this many people to figure it out. This many people decided, yes, I'll be a part of this. I will check out at this time as a way to help humanity understand this disease, blah, blah, blah. But once you hit that number, after that, it's karma.
Well, I agree with that. And it also said that it could be that if you didn't pass, let's say, from this mass event, that you're going to have either an accident or something, because most of the time people have already made up their mind that they're pretty much done. They've done what they came to do, and they're just ready to go. It's not like a suicide thing. It's just, they're no longer growing. And that's what's creating that, and that makes perfect sense. Karma, or, well, this is one way I could go. If I wanted to go, I could go from this thing.
Right. Well, it's karma for mankind. So then there was another wave that said, okay, we'll go too, if needed, right? So there were multiple waves of people that said they will go if needed. But because those if needed people had to go, mankind had racked up karma because we didn't deal with the issue. That's all I know. I don't, that's
because a lot of people get angry when you're discussing something like this, like, well, there couldn't be a good reason to have a
pandemic to begin with, right? Yeah.
Or anything that's really bad like that. Yeah.
You're right. People get mad about it. And it's just about understanding, you know what I mean?
Understanding it. Or just taking it and saying, well, maybe, that's a possibility. That's all. Just a possibility.
It's just a possibility.
Yep. Okay, so we're almost done here, but if you want to do this, that would be awesome. Please write to me at heartandsoulconnected at gmail.com. Remember, heart and soul connected is one word. And also, the book that I'm reading is called Individual Nature and Mass Events and it's a Seth book, and it's written by Jane Roberts, just so that you know what I'm talking about here. But
And
thank
can
you.
you put some of that stuff in the description so that
Yeah, so that people can get it afterwards. Sure. I'd be happy to do that. Yes, absolutely. Well,
sorry,
thank
my
you,
camera just
Susan.
flipped in and out.
I
don't know.
know your guide said, wait a minute, you're busy, let's go.
I don't know. I'm having technical difficulties. I had Medium Kim, who's you've had her on your channel. She did a reading for me yesterday that was amazing. And my dad came through and he told her he was going to be helping me with my lighting, but my dad's a trickster. So all morning my light has been going off and on. I'm like, this is not help. I thought you said you were going to help me, you know? So I don't know if he's moved on to the camera, but he's about to be in trouble. I'm about to put my own father in timeout.
I think that's a riot.
He is a riot. My dad is a riot. You guys, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of you. I hope the messages helped. Much love to you all, and much love to you, Aley. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan.
Oh, I think we lost Aley. Uh-oh. See, this is crazy things going on. Much love to everybody. Take care.